his name is...
It's John Bunday. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, and my first RPG of the 2025 RPG Challenge is completed, and it is Dragonheim on the Game Boy Color. So, this game is... the history behind it... Okay. 1 second. This game was... an earlier version of this game was originally released a couple of years ago as Dragonborn. So I don't take this as gospel, but I believe this is considered like one of the first of the new wave of like aftermarket released Game Boy games. Like, you know, like one of the first games to be released using like Game Boy Studio, I believe, which is RPG, but it's solely black and white, and you go through trying to defeat a bunch of dragons. And then it got announced that they were doing... originally it was going to be called Dragonborn DX, because DX is traditionally the name that was given to the color versions of old Game Boy games. But as time went on, then they changed the name from Dragonborn to Dragonheim, because it was no longer a color hack. They had completely redone the game. So it was, all intents and purposes, a new game, not a DX version of this. So, and then originally I was like, I wasn't sure if I would want to play, because I've beaten this. I completed this as part of 2023's 52 game challenge, even though I did it since I think 21, 22. Anyway, so, but this was self-published by Spacebot, the creators. And then when Dragonheim was coming out, they went via Incube 8, who are the publishers of homebrew Game Boy games that I've been doing QA testing for. So a bunch of the games I beat in 2024, was because of QA for that company, where you get the file ROM for free for playing the game and letting know any bugs you find. So they were going to release it, but then apparently there was a post on Twitter about cancelling that. The pre-orders were being cancelled. This was by the creators, not by Incubate 8. And then you have to get via Chromatic instead. But that then I think got altered. I'm guessing there must have been a contract or something, because then the Chromatic was still going to sell it, but then Incubate were doing their pre-order run, and then I think that might be it. But either way, then I was a bit surprised when the QA came up for this game, and because I'm part of the QA program, I was like, oh, I get to play it. So I got sent the ROM, and I've been playing through it. And I actually did find one bug, which meant that the fourth dungeon / dragon, that you could bypass a part of the dungeon, which because of... I'm not going too much details, but I found a bug which meant you could bypass it, and then the creator was like, yeah, that's definitely a bug. Please put that through the Google form for it. But the game itself, it's night and day. Like, if you have played Dragonborn, you should definitely play Dragonheim, because everything's been revamped. With the battle system with Dragonborn, to be honest, it was overly simplistic. Every single fight was the same steps to beat every single one, except for the dragons. For just the rank and file, it was like, do this, like attack, heal, attack, heal, and like that kind of pattern without change. Whereas this one, it's fully fleshed out. There's extra like magic and skills and things to use. There's also like trading cards you can find around it. There's extra like flavor to the world, like extra NPCs, and to be honest, this might possibly be the best game I've ever played on the Game Boy / Game Boy Color. In all honesty, yeah. Or at least the best RPG. So it's so colourful and vibrant, but also okay. It's definitely a bit of a head scratcher. There were certain points where I was struggling to figure out what to do next. So if you do play it and do struggle to figure out where to find another dragon scale, because those are things you need to be able to access the dungeons, then you know that's normal. I had that as well, and I had to actually get advice from the creator to say, okay, what am I missing here? So yeah, and it's a game I think that you should definitely check out. So it's available now from Chromatic, and that those have actually been sent out. There are people who are playing it and reviewing it, but we're still doing the QA for the InQview 8 one. So I'm guessing eventually that will then go onto the carts for the Chromatic ones. I guess they will eventually get the updated ROMs. So, but yeah, so a game definitely worth checking out, and it's nice to play another Game Boy RPG. And while that it doesn't feel like a token effort, it's like, you know, this was made for the Game Boy. It's not like, because with some games where they make it for the Game Boy, it feels like just a watered down version of a console game. This doesn't feel like that at all. This is something special.